5 Travel Hacks to Save Money in Latin America. The internet isn't short of money-saving travel tips. But unfortunately some of them just aren't feasible for long-term travel. One of the joys of long-term travel is the flexibility it affords you. No one wants to be boxed in by booking a bus 2 months in advance or having to stake plans around being in a certain city at a certain time to stay in that budget hotel you booked, no matter how much it might save you. If you suck at math and the idea of doing a budget tracking spreadsheet every night is your idea of a nightmare, even with all those new budget tracking apps, fear not. There are several travel tips that are workable and easy to utilize, and really will save you money. Here are 5 ways to save money in Latin America, by someone who's been there and done that but didn't buy the t-shirt. If you have a long, arduous journey in front of you, it's incredibly tempting to pay that bit extra for a swankier bus service or shuttle. But travel on the local buses, or chicken buses, and you can save inordinate amounts of money. Sometimes the price difference for shuttles can be up to 10 times what you'd pay on local transportation. Chicken buses may not be fast or luxurious, but they'll get you from A to B for under $1. And have the added benefit of giving you an authentic experience too. Now admittedly, there are places and attractions you can only visit with an organized tour group. But do your research. Because forking out $60 for an overpriced tour aimed at tourists isn't always your best bet. For example, exploring Luna Valley in Chile's San Pedro de Atacama Desert is a must for anyone on the backpacker trail, but because you're in a traveler hotspot in one of South America's most expensive countries, your time in this little town could become a budget breaker. Skip the tours of the valley that cost a lot and hire bikes to explore instead. Not only will you save money, but you'll also get away from the crowds. Be able to do it on your own time and you'll get some exercise, a rarity for a long-term traveler. After a few months on the road, the thing I found I missed most was the availability of international food. When you finally hit up a big, developed city and see international restaurants, it's almost impossible to stop your brain conjuring up images of your next meal possibilities: fresh bowls of Vietnamese pho, aromatic Indian curries with soft naan bread, fragrant pad thai and succulent dumplings. I know. While it can be hard not to run to the nearest restaurant, don't. Gringo food comes with gringo prices. And you can easily spend what amounts to a day's budget on a quick meal. Instead, head to the local restaurants where you can choose from the menu del dia and enjoy a 2 or 3 course meal for around $2. There's soups, salads, pastas, fish, meat, rice and beans. You'll leave full to burst and with plenty of change in your pocket. Save the international food for when you're back home, or for a very special treat. It goes without saying that if you're on a budget you should try to stay in hostels with kitchens. These are invaluable for your budget. So where possible, always choose accommodation where you can prepare your own food. But, even if you have accommodation with a kitchen, after a while hostel cooking gets incredibly monotonous. And that's skipping over whether your hostel will actually have any cooking equipment bar one bent sticky frying pan and a few blunt knives. If you're lucky, the hostel might have salt and pepper left from a previous traveler. But actual spices and herbs, basil, chili, paprika, basil, oregano, are usually out of the question. It may not seem like a big deal, but having your own mini spice rack on hand can be invaluable. After more than a month of flavorless rice and beans or bland, overcooked pasta, you will likely lose all faith in hostel cooking. This is the crucial point when you think, to heck with it, I'm heading to the nearest international restaurant and scoffing myself silly. I deserve it. You do. But there's no faster way to fritter your budget away than on food. Fresh herbs and spices are expensive in Latin America, sometimes unbelievably so. I began compiling collected spices, herbs and condiments. Collect all the sachets in restaurants when you can, in a little Tupperware box. Then whenever I was cooking what would be a bland and uninspired meal, I had a wealth of spices and flavors to put in. Need some spice? Fine. Garlic. Whack it in. Such a small thing to do with such a big return. Point 1 might suggest always getting the chicken bus. But admittedly, that doesn't always work. It's fine for Central America. But South America is so vast it just isn't always feasible. If you're heading to far-flung places like Patagonia, flying is often the only real choice. Unless you know you can spend 5 days on a bus without going insane. I can't. If you know you're going to have to book a flight, plan this in advance. no matter how cheap an airline is. Don't make the mistake of heading directly to their site to see the best deals, which so many travelers still do. In my experience, the best flight comparison site is usually Google Flights. But Skyscanner also advises you on the cheapest times to book a flight. November is 12% cheaper. And December is 20% more expensive. So booking just a week or two earlier can save you a lot. Tegan Jones. Tegan is a passionate journalist, writer and editor. She writes about lifestyle tips on Lifehack. Read full profile. You've just hit the gym for an hour. Or maybe you just came back from a long run. You need a post-workout snack because of all the nutrients you've lost. But you're unsure what to eat. While you're likely wondering what to eat after a workout, knowing which foods you should never eat after a workout is just as important. Here is a comprehensive list of foods you should never eat after a workout, regardless of how much you might be craving them. Yes, you read that correctly. While raw vegetables are essential to a healthy and balanced diet, they don't make for good post-workout foods. This is because you've just lost a great deal of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients while exercising, and raw veggies simply aren't substantial enough to supplement them. This is, perhaps, the only time where such low-calorie foods actually work against you. You need extra grams of protein and fiber in order to replenish your stores and help to build muscle tissue. So, by all means, have some raw vegetables post-workout. Just make sure you balance it with something that offers protein or fiber. For example, you can have celery sticks, a delicious yogurt-based dip, or peanut butter. Or carrots with hummus. As previously mentioned, the body needs fiber after a workout. It also needs high-quality carbs in order to replace the glycogen in your system. Despite the fact that pastries contain both of these things, they are not on the list of what to eat after a workout. Pastries are full of unhealthy carbohydrates, as well as salt, sugar, fat, and calories. Instead, opt for wholegrain or multigrain toast or some raw nuts. These contain good carbs, and the nuts will supply good fats. This may seem a bit obvious, but a great deal of people find that they crave chocolate or something else sweet after exercising. This is because they have lost sugars during their workout, and their body is telling them that they need more. Milk chocolate is full of bad fats and glucose, both of which are terrible for your health. If you're craving something sweet, have some fresh fruit. Or, if you really can't control that chocolate craving, try a piece of dark chocolate instead. Preferably 70% cocoa or higher. Dark chocolate contains a great deal of antioxidants that not only fight free radicals in your body, but also work as an anti-inflammatory, which is what you need after a workout. One recent research review pointed out that data from numerous studies suggest that cocoa and cocoa-derived flavonols can effectively modify the inflammatory process. This is great news for your body. This is another obvious one, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Similar to sugar, salt is something you can crave after a workout. Again, this is because it needs replenishing in your body. It can be tempting to grab something quick and easy, such a burger or fries, but they will be detrimental to your diet. You won't be replacing the right kind of fats or salts in your body, and you'll be adding a large dose of bad trans fats. In addition, you'll be undoing all of the great work you did during your exercise. As an alternative, try a potassium-rich banana or some avocado. These both contain healthy fats and have enough calories to satisfy your hungry body. These should be on your list of foods you should never eat after a workout for exactly the same reasons as fast food. Those potato chips may seem tempting, but what you really need is to replenish those potassium stores. Step away from the Doritos and hold tight to the aforementioned banana. One study suggested that, due to sodium's benefits in helping fluid absorption in the body, it can be beneficial to drink a sports drink that includes sodium. But only if you exercise for more than 4 hours. Most of us stick to workouts that only last an hour or two. So extra salt intake after a workout is generally unnecessary. If you're wondering what to eat after a workout, you may start listening to your body, which is likely craving sugar after a workout. However, that doesn't mean that you should be reaching for a bag of candy. Besides the obvious high-calorie issue of sugar-filled snacks, there is another important reason to avoid them. Sugar isn't only high in calories. It's also known to damage your metabolism. One study explained that the fructose component in sugar causes dysregulation of lipid and carbohydrate metabolism. In simple terms, this means that added sugars like those found in fruit juices, gets in the way of your metabolism's natural regulation. I know. Energy bars are known for aiding your workout. Although this is true, they're only beneficial before exercise. This is due to their high sugar levels, among other things, which makes them great for a pre-workout snack because they increase your energy levels. However, post-workout, they will slow down your metabolism and make it difficult for you to fall asleep. This is a huge problem if you're a nighttime exerciser. When making your list of what to eat after a workout, don't include soda. In addition to all of the aforementioned damage that high-sugar foods and beverages can do. There is another reason to avoid soda after a workout: it makes you bloat. This may be due to the extra artificial sweeteners in soda. Highly processed and fat-filled cheeses, such as mozzarella or cheddar, are foods to avoid as a post-workout snack, regardless of how delicious they are. If you really need a cheese fix, cottage cheese is a great option as it has a high water content and many health benefits. Throw in some pineapple or peach chunks to add in a burst of good sugars. In general, eggs are a fantastic source of protein and choline, which is needed for a healthy heart after you exercise. However, frying them up is a mistake. This is because they usually get fried in butter or oil, both of which are saturated fats. In order to get the most out of your eggs without damaging your health, eat them hard-boiled or scrambled with a bit of olive oil. If you're trying to lower your cholesterol, only eat the egg whites. If you have given your time and energy to a great workout,